So this is the final video in this series on what if Christianity isn't true. Because again, as I said in the first two videos, if it isn't true, we shouldn't believe it, just like any other worldview. And how do we determine if something is true? Well, does it correspond with what we see in the world and basic human experience? And so far in the first two videos, we saw that the alternatives don't really correspond with what we know and what we experience as humans. Right? If Christianity isn't true, then man is nothing, man is dead, man is meaningless. We can't know that we don't know that Christianity is true. We can't know really anything. We've already seen that. So what I want to speak about today is that if Christianity is not true, and let's say naturalism is or Darwinism is, then there is no basis for morality, for determining what is good or what is evil, for what is right or wrong at all. And again, we've already seen this work out in our society, at least to an extent. But again, if you can't live according to your worldview, you should toss it out. No one really does live as if there is no such thing as right and wrong. We like to say that when we find ourselves doing something that other people say is wrong. Well, you can't judge. But when somebody wrongs us, we're pretty quick to say, hey, that's wrong. But much of our society has moved into this moral relativism, that morality is a personal decision that you get to determine for yourself. And of course, that is the natural result of saying that there is no God. If there is no God, then morality is not, or saying something is right or wrong is really just saying, I like this thing or I don't like this thing. And therefore, right and wrong really becomes meaningless. So if Christianity is not right, then we have to look at things like murder, rape, child molestation, suicide bombings, all of these things. And we can say they're wrong. We want to say that they're wrong. But if Christianity isn't true, what we're really just saying is I don't like that. And I really don't think any of us want to go down that hill. We all look at these things, these wretched and terrible things, and we know innately that is wrong. But if all we're really saying is either I as an individual or we as a society don't like that, it really has no meaning at all, because clearly the rapist likes it. Clearly the suicide bombers and these other cultures who promote that, they like it. They think that it is good. If there is no universal standard, if there is no moral code, then us saying these are evil or these are wrong really doesn't mean anything. Moreover, if naturalism and Darwinism are correct, then the ethic of the universe really is survival of the fittest. Whoever has the power determines what is right and what is good. Rape isn't necessarily wrong then because the man is more strong than the woman. Right? If Christianity is not right, we lose all basis for saying that these things that are wrong are in fact wrong. Now again, as I said, if you can't live in accordance with your worldview, then you should toss that worldview out. And that's exactly what we see here. When somebody harms your child, when someone harms someone you love, when someone harms you, when someone defrauds you or murders somebody you cares about or rapes or molests them, when we see these wicked and evil things, we innately say, that's wrong. And I think most of us mean by that more than just, I don't like that. Now, Christianity, thankfully, I believe is true. And we have a universal standard for saying something is right and wrong. And that universal standard is God in his character. He has spoken. He has revealed to us what is right and what is wrong, both in his creation and through his word. Man knows that murder is wrong. Man knows that rape is wrong. Man knows that all of these things are wrong because God has made this world, and this is his world, and we can't escape him. So when a Christian recognizes this, we have then the foundation to look at evil, look it right in the eye, and to say, this is wrong, and I oppose it, and I will work to limit or to bring it to an end as much as I can as a human creature. But the other side of this is that because there is right and wrong, we all know that we have sinned, that we have done things that are wrong. And that's really where moral relativism comes from, is we don't want someone to tell us that we are wrong, but we are quick to tell others that they are wrong. It's funny that as we've become more morally relativistic, that we have mobs now running around the country saying, you're wrong, we need justice, we need justice. Well, what is justice? What is human rights if humans are just impersonal matter? Well, it's nothing. But the Christian worldview gives us that foundation that we can look at evil and say it is wrong, and moreover, that we are wrong, that we have committed sin. And that is, of course, why Jesus Christ came, to pay the penalty due for our sin, because God will judge. God will right every wrong in the end, and it will either be paid for by you, or Christ will pay for it on your behalf. But Christianity gives us this full-orbed view where life is not meaningless. Man is not nothing. You can know things. There is such a thing as right and wrong. Christianity gives us this understanding of creation that is far more beautiful, that life has meaning, hope, and purpose, and a direction. And that direction is going to reach its pinnacle in the return of Christ. If Christianity is wrong, then, well, none of this matters. This series doesn't matter. Your life doesn't matter. This is just a cold, dark, pitiless universe that one day will end, and it doesn't matter. But that is not how it is. You know it, and I know it. God has spoken. He has written this on our heart, and He has written it in His Word, that man is something special because God has made this universe. He exists. He is there. He is not silent. And He has given us this vision of the world that we can actually live out.